Welcome everyone to Dragon Quest FM, where we talk about and obsess over Dragon Quest. I'm Austin,
I'm BJ.
and this week we're actually talking about Pokemon Legends ZA. I know we're talking about a different video game.
Yeah,
We haven't done that since I
like
don't
2 weeks
know.
ago. It's
I'm trying to think the last time we actually did an episode on a non-DQ game, and I think was it FF7 Rebirth?
a full episode, maybe,
Yeah,
but this
Xenoblade
one
Chronicles
hopefully
3 was before that. Yeah, I don't know.
hopefully this one will be a little bit better than our FF7 Rebirth one, a little more positive than we were able
Oh,
to be. So I because I have no idea about ZA. That's one that I didn't have interest in when they announced it, and the more I've seen it, the less I like the way the battle system looks. So I'm really curious to know what you think about it.
I spoiler alert, I actually loved it.
Okay.
But yeah, before we get into Pokemon though, I have a couple of Dragon Quest things that I want to mention here at the very beginning.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Number one is I wanted to give a shout out to Jeff the Sea Monkey for sharing the Smash Grow stuff from the beta and giving us like a cool list and everything over on Blue Sky and just like sharing his thoughts with us. Like that was really cool to see, and that also that kind of like specificity was nice. I really enjoyed seeing that. So Jeff, thanks for sharing that with us. Um, and then the other thing I wanted to mention was I got to hang out with Platty M3 from Slime Time in person in
In
real life
person.
this week. Yeah. And had a really good time. We actually hardly talked about DQ at all. We just talked about boring middle-aged dude stuff, really. But like after I
Yeah.
got home, Grace was like, "Did you guys just talk about Dragon Quest nonstop?" And I was like, "Actually, we were talking about like home stuff and like I don't know, just like
Insurance claims.
yeah, exactly. The colonoscopy I'm having in January.
Oh
Um,
man.
like, yeah, just like I don't know, just like everyday things. But anyway, that was really fun. But also, it was really nice of him. He sent the kids some cool figures, Dragon Quest figures.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
and he did like three of each, so each one of the girls had them all to play with in different like color variants and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Um, so uh, so Platty, thanks for sending that over too. But
Really
I know I
awesome.
thanked him in person already, but just for the episode. But I wanted to bring some of them up because
Yeah, I want to see him. I hadn't seen
I don't
him.
know that he will brag on himself, but they're like very well done. So I'm gonna brag on him. Kind of like with you. I'm just gonna brag. I like bragging on other people. So this is a cure slime that he did.
Oh my goodness, did he do the modeling for it too?
I
That's
think so.
awesome.
I
I
don't know.
love that. I love the fidget with the
So there's this one. We have a spirit. Well, I guess they're tockles canonically at this point, but anyway.
There's I still call them spirits of time.
Yeah, I know. I do
That's
too.
awesome.
And there, he made them in the other colors from the game too. I didn't bring up all of them up here, but then nice little bubble slime
That is so
uh,
cool.
right here, and then individual slimes as well. But now the thing that's cool about them is they
Oh,
stack,
sweet. Those are the stacking ones.
so you can actually make like a little slime stack.
That's
And
awesome.
the kids have been playing with them a lot and calling them slime stacks and like play, and look, there's another one back there that I
There
have.
is.
So
And you have it in a different order.
yeah.
It's funny. I was checking like right then. I was looking to see if you had accidentally put them in the same order that you had in the background.
No, the one in the background came like this.
Came like that, yeah.
But yeah, I can make it look like the one. But anyway, just wanted to show those off because they're like very high quality and I the kids have been playing with them a lot and they even like last night just like turned off the TV at one point and just started playing with them in the floor and I was
Oh
like
wow,
awesome. Yeah.
that's
Um
awesome.
so they're having a good time with them anyway. So I just wanted to show those off because I thought they were really cool.
Yeah, that's really
Um
cool.
all right, yeah, so Pokemon. I actually reviewed it for work,
Right.
so we can include the link to that in the show notes if you guys want
Yep.
to read my review over on Screen Rant. But then the game has been out for like a week now.
A week or so
Um,
since we're recording this. Yeah.
yeah, and so I feel like I was kind of surprised, I think, by the reaction to the game because I going into it was not super excited for it. It's a Pokemon game, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite sold on the idea of like being in Lumio City the whole time. I was like,
Right.
man, just running around like city open world, like that doesn't sound that cool. Although I guess I do love Spider-Man now that I say
Yeah,
it
I
out
mean
loud.
that's
So, but I was kind of like I was curious about that. I first started playing it and was surprised because it is very much it is very much battle centric.
oh,
So,
okay.
and I put this into my review too. Like I kind of thought about it as like Legends Arceus and Legends EA are kind of like deals with like two sides of the same coin. Like the like dichotomy of Pokemon is like got to catch them all, and then you have to
Hmm.
like battle them and level them up, right? And
Okay.
Arceus is very much got to catch them all, right? You have to like you're on a survey team in like the Hisui region. It's very much a focus on like catching. Yes, there's battles and taking down like noble Pokemon, but
Hmm.
it's like it's all about like catching, filling up your Pokedex, and
Right.
having to complete that in order to even get to like all the Pokemon in the game.
Oh
You
wow.
have to do all these things. And so and ZA is kind of the opposite, where it's like you're climbing through the ranks of the ZA Royale,
Yeah.
and you start on like rank Z, you go up and you have to keep climbing. I mean, it does skip, which I was a little disappointed in
Mm.
whenever they started that.
Hmm.
But it's like that's the focus. And it's like there's wild zones, but it's like you walk into a small little park and catch a Mareep and a Bellsprout. It's not
Yeah.
like these massive areas, and even the bigger areas that can kind of unlock over
Are
time. And I'm going to try to keep this fair, a little spoiler free at times
yeah.
because I know it's only been out like a week, um but yeah, it's like even the bigger wild zone areas are not like getting to walk around and explore like the stuff in Arceus, and definitely nowhere close to like the open world of Scarlet and Violet.
Mm. Are they like parks that you go into, like those areas that are the wild zones? Since you said you were
Some of
staying
them,
in a
some of
city
them
the
are
whole time.
Some of them are parks. Some of them are like one's the cemetery.
Mm.
One's just like a little segment of the street, and like you can climb up, you can go up ladders and like find Pokemon up on the roofs. But then
Okay.
also, as you're running around the city, you can also just run into like Pokemon that makes sense. Like there's Pidgeys in the trees, or like you might find like a Trubbish over by the trash can,
Right.
or things like that that are kind of fun. Where it's like you can run into them without having to be in
Yeah.
wild zones, but it's not common. Like you go to wild zones to catch the Pokemon, and so I I'm all about like I'd much rather catch them all than fight them all,
Right.
and so pretty much immediately into the game, I was like, oh yeah, I don't know. But then I ended up loving it. Like I was like, it made it feel different. Like,
Okay.
and it was also kind of a relief to a certain extent where I was like, oh, I don't have to catch like every form of unknown to complete, the
Right.
Pokedex entry for unknown like you do in Arceus. And like it was kind of nice playing a Pokemon game where like this is the first Pokemon game probably since Yellow that I've played where I wasn't like, I gotta catch them all. I gotta catch
Oh,
them.
you weren't
Where
like that in this one.
yeah, where it's like I did want to go and catch them, but at the same time, because the story is so much focused on the combat aspect of it,
Yeah.
like I was much more just like, okay, I have this team, I'm leveling up these Pokemon,
Right.
and this is what I'm going through. And it gets slightly more traditional, I would say, once you get to like rank, I think it's F, where you fight what essentially boils down to like gym leaders that have a
Yeah.
certain type of Pokemon. Like it does start skewing that way after a little while, but yeah, I don't know. I expected to not like this game very much and ended up loving it. And
Yeah.
then like I gave it a 9 out of 10 and stand by that like completely 100%. And then I saw like some of the response from fans and people playing it afterwards. I was kind
Yeah.
of shocked that the like user reviews are so much lower.
Oh, are they? See, I've seen nothing. Like I haven't been on social media much at all in the last little while, and so I haven't seen an actual response other than look at Mega Starmie's legs. They look stupid. Like that's the extent that I've really seen. So I didn't know how the general public approached this one.
The new Mega designs, I'm just like whatever. And Mega Evolution was always fun. I mean, that was, even like you remember when Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby came out, and like
Yep.
we were all playing it like at work and bringing our
Uh-huh.
DSs to work and like trading and stuff. And there's Mega Evolution in those games, and it was just like
Uh-huh.
so much fun. And I'm forever probably going to be nostalgic for those games, and those are probably like I would say might even be my favorite games just because
Okay.
of getting to play them with all of
Yeah.
you guys.
That was so much fun doing
It was
that.
like a group experience. Yeah, and it was just so much fun. And so I, I like Mega Evolution as a mechanic already, and this game had it, and I
Yeah.
liked it. I've seen a lot of people complain about the combat, and it's like I don't want that to replace the standard turn-based combat that's in Pokemon
Yeah.
games, right? But I mean this is a Legends game.
It's
And
not a
so
mainline Pokemon game, so it's trying different things.
I'm fine with it being like I'm fine with it being it's a little bit like Xenoblade.
Okay.
Um I would if I were trying to describe it to somebody, I would probably call it like we have Xenoblade at home is what the
Hmm.
combat really is. It's kind of like you have to, you use the trigger to like hone in on a specific Pokemon, and then
Yeah.
you wait for cooldowns, and it's kind of like a circular, okay, this,
Okay.
this, this to do this move, and you have to check. That's part of the strategy is looking because it's like, oh, this move is really strong, but it has a 10-second cooldown. This move is almost as strong, but only has a 4-second cooldown. So
Right.
I'll prioritize using that instead. And it's also, I will say, this is the first Pokemon game I think I've ever used moves like Growl and Leer
Oh, right. Yeah, because
in
they would actually
because
matter in a real-time game.
it being in real time and stuff, like I've actually used it to lower my opponent's like defense and everything.
Hmm.
And like in a normal Pokemon game, it's like as soon as I can learn a move that's actually going to cause damage, it's like
Yeah.
see ya Leer, see
I'm
ya
just going to
Growl,
replace
like it.
those almost completely, like immediately.
And it does get to that point, like I'd say around the time my Pokemon were like level 30, it was kind
Mm.
of like, I'm just going to focus on moves now. And didn't have any issues, but I also thought that the battles were harder. Like there was actually some kind
Oh,
of like strategy and like thinking involved as opposed to just like, oh, you have grass type Pokemon. Here's one fire Pokemon that's going to take your entire team down. I don't even like
yeah.
really think about it. Like that wasn't the case necessarily, as I could maybe in like the trainer battles, but like the bigger like
Hmm.
matches that you do for ranked battles. I uh I don't know, like the combat really did win me over where like don't get me wrong, I do not want this kind of combat in every Pokemon game in the future, but for one game, I thought it was really interesting
Yeah.
and it mixed things up and it did add like this kind of urgency to combat that kind of kept you on your toes.
Right.
And especially early on, I would be like engaged in combat. And I'm so used to these games being turn-based. Like I would just be sitting there for a minute and I would be getting like attacked. And I was like, oh yeah, I have to hit
Yeah,
the
you have
trigger
to
and
do
like
this. Yeah.
like do this. And like I was just waiting for the menu, to pop up and so it did take me a little while to get used to, but yeah,
Right.
it won me over really quickly with the combat. Like I did not expect to like it at all and ended up just loving it.
So in the combat, you're running around as the trainer while your Pokemon, like you're moving around the arena that's set up
Hmm.
as the trainer, and you're
Hmm.
commanding your Pokemon to
Hmm.
kind of autonomously use these moves and work through the AI. Can your trainer get hit by the Pokemon abilities and die?
You can in some just if there's aggressive wild Pokemon, like they may
Yeah.
attack you. Um, and then like the rogue Mega Pokemon, which kind of like the frenzied noble Pokemon from Arceus, very similar. But those kind of like boss in air quote fights,
Yeah.
um, you can get hit by Pokemon. Um, when they're those wild fights like that. Not
Okay.
not just I can't think of a time I was ever hit by one like facing it against a trainer. Like that would just be Pokemon. But yeah,
Yeah.
but that actually adds an element to it. It felt a little bit like Nino Kuni.
Okay.
You know how you're having to give orders to your
Yeah.
familiars, but you're also having to kind of run around and dodge as Oliver and
Right.
everything. That's what it reminded me of a lot,
Okay.
actually, even more than Xenoblade. Even though the battle system is very similar to Xenoblade, it reminded me more of Ni no Kuni, where like there were times like when I'm fighting against the rogue megas that I'd be having to run around dodging attacks
Yeah.
while then, hitting the trigger button to latch on to
Uh-huh.
the boss and then waiting for cooldowns to give my Pokemon orders for the combat where they
Right.
don't act. It's not like Ni no Kuni 2 or anything where the Pokemon will just auto attack. Like you have to give the
Yeah. You
Pokemon
have to give them
orders.
orders so they're not running around like just like melee attacking or anything on their own. They have
Correct.
to
Yeah,
use the moves.
they'll just sit there. If you just spend the whole time
Okay.
dodging, like your Pokemon's just going to sit there and get killed eventually or
Gotcha.
faint, I guess. They don't die, but faint. Um, So anyway, it was sometimes it got really chaotic.
Yeah, I can imagine
But
it would.
I really enjoyed it. And like I said, I reviewed it for work, but it was a Pokemon game. So I mean I already had it pre-ordered
Hmm.
with through Pokemon Center because I wanted to they had a deal if you pre-ordered it, you got one of the three starters, like a sitting cuties plush
Oh, yeah.
from it. And it worked out great because I chose Totodile as my starter, and for the order they sent me, it was
Yeah.
Totodile plush.
Nice.
So I reviewed it on Switch 2, which ran great. Had
Did
no
it?
issues whatsoever. After like the performance issues of Scarlet and Violet, that just I did not like Scarlet and Violet. I guess I should get that out of the way. Love Sword and Shield. It's probably my actual favorite Pokemon game. Did not like Scarlet and Violet. Um, and loved Arceus. And then with this one, it's like I reviewed on Switch 2, had
Mm.
no problems. But I got the Switch 1 version of it physically so
Okay.
my kids could play it on my old Switch,
Mm.
right? That way I could hog the Switch too for a little
Yeah.
while. And so I've seen them play it and I haven't noticed issues. I mean, I haven't been watching over their shoulder the entire time, but I've watched them play it, on a regular
Hmm.
Switch and it seems to be fine on
I
there.
was
You can
curious about
tell.
that. Like I saw that there might be performance issues on the regular Switch but I wasn't sure how bad they would be in compared to Switch 2.
I haven't noticed anything when I've watched them play it. Um, there's definitely you can definitely tell a difference in graphics.
Mm.
Like I did not realize how just playing it on Switch 2, I didn't think anything of it. And then seeing
Uh-huh.
the game on the Switch when they were playing it, I was like, wow, Switch 2 does look better.
Significantly
Um,
better than the regular Switch.
that's been the main difference in terms of like
Mm.
I haven't noticed like any kind of lag or stuttering. Um, it also may come down to like because it's a city setting, it's not like these vast areas
Yeah,
with like
you
50 Pokemon all trying to spawn and trainers and stuff too. Like that caused a lot of the performance stuff with Scarlet and Violet.
yeah.
Um, and I mean, and the kids are all three playing it on separate accounts on the Switch. So it's like none of them have gotten super far into it yet because they've been
Yeah.
sharing. So, I'm not saying that there's not any issues on Switch 1, but I can say that I have not experienced any issues on Switch 1. And I didn't experience any on Switch 2 at all,
Nice.
which honestly was a complete surprise. Like, at this point, I just expect Pokemon games to be buggy,
Yeah.
and that's just a part of it, right?
It's like
And
Bethesda games at this point. It's like you're playing them and you just kind of deal with it and make jokes at it.
yeah, and I just kind of expected there to be some issues, but I did not have any trouble at all. And that includes, I mean, I played most of it in handheld, and
Okay.
even playing it in handheld on Switch too. Like I didn't have any problems.
How about new Pokemon in this? Like I know since it's Legends, they're not going to introduce like a whole new generation, right? That this
Um,
doesn't go into like generation 57 or whatever it is that they're on now.
so I want
Or
to
are
I don't want to spoil too much here. It
right,
does not do what Arceus did, where Arceus, had a bunch like they introduced the like different Hisui region
right.
variants and some actual new Pokemon, but those new Pokemon were technically part of like Gen 8 with Sword and Shield,
Yeah.
even though you could only get them in Arceus. Um, ZA does not do it that kind of way.
Okay.
Um, like the big thing is the all the megas, like
Mm,
all the mega evolutions for all
yeah.
these new all the Pokemon that get new mega evolutions. Like that's kind of draw.
Right.
I would say generally speaking, and I'm not saying I have every mega in the game, but the ones I've seen that the already existing megas, I feel like the designs are much cooler than the
Hmm.
newer ones.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
um, so that was a little disappointing to some
Right.
degree, but also generally speaking, I feel like each generation of Pokemon, the designs get a little weaker overall anyway,
And
just
that may just,
personally.
I still felt that way. And I felt that way going from generation one to generation two. That these new Pokemon don't look anything near as cool as the old Pokemon. These are stupid. And now, 30 years later, looking at them like these are just Pokemon, I wonder how much that's going to be with these newer generations as well as we move out 5, 10 years from them and be like I remember the Alolan executor, however it's pronounced. The like that one looked so stupid when it first came out with the gigantic pop palm tree neck and everything. And now I see it and I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. It's like I like that one. I think that's funny.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's still stupid, but it's funny.
It's
I
stupid
think,
funny, not just like, oh, they did this. Like, oh, they're
yeah.
ruining.
I don't know, because I'm that way. Like, I still feel that way about Gen 2 in a
Oh,
lot of
do you
ways.
really?
Yeah, like I don't really like Gen 2 overall. I mean, I say that, and then like Lugia is one of my all-time favorite Pokemon designs
Yeah.
in Pokemon. Like I love Lugia, but like the starters at least are just kind of like, and I realize I chose Totodile, but it's like Chikorita. Don't
Uh
care
huh.
about that evolutionary line at all. Like Cyndaquil just is always going to be the worst fire starter. Sorry for anybody that likes Cyndaquil, but um, I feel that way about Gen 2 a lot. I think like if I were ranking them, I think probably Gen 9 Scarlet and Violet has the weakest designs overall to
Mm,
me personally. Like I really like Ceruledge. Um, and yeah, and the starters,
that's
like the actual starters are not that bad, but I really
right.
hate basically everything they evolve into. Love the Score Bunny line
Yeah.
from Sword and Shield.
Score Bunny is
Um,
one of my absolute favorites.
it's
Uh,
it's one of those rare ones where I like the beginning, I like the middle, and I like Cinderace there at the end. Like the
uh,
Score Bunny to Raboot to Cinderace.
yep.
Like I'm fine with all of
Also,
them.
really love Litten is one of my favorite ones too. I just love it. Like I'm one of the very few who love it and just like unabashedly the entire line. I was all in on it.
I I do not like Gen 7 games or the starters very much. Like other than 2 and 9, like 7's probably the one that I'm just like I have just feel nothing for. Um
I mean, you feel nothing anyway. You have a black soul, black empty void for a soul.
that is not true. The Mariners
It's
lost
not.
this week and I've been sulking ever since.
It's true.
Um
You have had true
it
male emotions this week.
it ruined my night. I stayed up to watch the game and then couldn't sleep because I was stewing the entire time. For those of you who don't watch baseball, don't even care, they were up 3-1 by the seventh inning, so only like 2 innings
Like
to go after that.
so close.
All so close. It would be their first World Series ever. Okay. I've been a fan of this team since the mid 90s. Okay. Since the mid 90s. They have not been very good since like the early 2000s and then have
No.
started getting good again this side of like 2020. And it really seemed like the year they're up 3-1. And then questionable decision was made. Pitcher was put in, gave up a home run instantly with people on the bases. The score then became 3-4, and they never recovered. And so, just with that one pitch, one hit, one home run, lost it all. Season
Mm,
over. It was heartbreaking.
that would be
I sat,
heartbreaking to see.
I sat angrily, just laying on my back in anger. Um, like the rest of the night, I couldn't sleep at all. And then at
That's that
work,
that's
at work,
hilarious that you couldn't sleep because of it.
it's so silly, and I was telling Grace about it. Like I was talking to her about it the next day, and I'm like, I know it's just baseball. It's nothing important at all. I was like, but like, here's the thing. Like even like, and I don't always follow them super closely. Like I got really back into it
Yeah.
really hard the last few years, because they were doing really well, and I liked the players on the team. I liked the
Hmm.
team. But it's one of those things that like still when you're a fan for this long, like it's 30 years, you know?
Yep.
So like when you're a fan 30 years, like you always keep tabs on it and you get kind of excited. And just the fact that, hey, for the first time, not just in 30 years, but like in their like almost 50-year history, like they might actually make it to not even
Yep.
win it, but just make it. Like win the
Like,
championship series
yeah.
for the first time ever, the pennant for the first time ever. It was very exciting. And it was just like devastating. It was that running to the football like Charlie Brown thing, and then Lucy just pulled it up and you
Like,
fell on your back. And it was kind of like, and I told Grace, and like my whole family got behind the Mariners. I don't think I've even told you this, and I'm sorry to be talking about baseball so much on a video game podcast, but
hey, we've had
because
good comments
be,
about your talking about baseball. I will say, like, I have seen
oh, have
tons
we?
of positive comments on
Oh, okay.
your baseball episode and things like that, and not gotten negative comments. And here come the negative comments will be saying that. But
Um, but anyway, it's been really fun because like my grandmother started following up with the Mariners game. My brother
oh wow,
did, and my cousin Wesley that also lives in Tennessee, he started watching the games because he knew the Mariners had made it to the postseason, and that was like my team. So like I had all these family members, they were like texting me, during the games.
yeah, of
And so that was kind of fun because we kind of had like we had
course,
like I had like a group text going where we would be texting, like watching the games. We're not together, but we would, be talking. And so it was just fun to see. Like my family got so into it because they knew it was like my team and it was a big deal.
uh huh,
And so, that was really fun. And then of course that night, like I knew things were bad because I showed up like I got texts from family and friends. It was like a family member had died, and like
oh
I and like I showed up at work the next day, and like so many people, even when I saw Platty, they're like, yeah, sorry about those Mariners, or like, sorry, Austin, like, how you holding up, man?
yeah. It's
Like it
like
really was. It
you
was
doing
like it was
okay,
like a
man?
family. Yeah, it was like a
You need
family member had
anything? Can I
died.
do anything for you? Yeah. Yeah, you need me to bring a casserole by your house later today? It's
So, so I do have feelings.
you
To,
do have
to bring it
feelings.
all back around, I do have feelings. But
It's you
anyway,
do.
um, but yeah, with ZA, like I have really liked it. Anybody listening to this episode, definitely weigh in on this and tell me your thoughts. I've enjoyed it. There's also like I like to collect things, right?
Right.
So it's not just collecting Pokemon. There's Mabel's research, which you kind of do different things. You fulfill different things like, okay, catch 3 normal types, and then catch 5 normal types. Catch
Okay.
10, and you get points that allow you to climb up ranks. And with each rank, you get a different like reward. And so,
Yeah.
that's how you get like a Master Ball and a Shiny Charm and things like that, like much later on
Yeah.
as you're climbing the ranks. Um, so there's like that aspect to it. There's there's side quests that you can go around and do,
Okay, good.
which actually, because I didn't like the starters for ZA, and you can actually very early on go and get uh Froakie, who I love.
Oh,
Greninja is one of my
yeah.
favorites. You can get Chespin, and you can get Fennekin.
Okay.
Gen 6 has really good starters, so you can get the Gen 6 starters. The catch is if you want the Mega Stones for them, you have to do like the online ranked battles and stuff. And
Okay.
so it is kind of one of those things that you need Mega Stones to really like reasonably take on Megas.
Yeah.
Um, but still, you get to choose a Gen 1 starter early on from a side quest with Mabel. And so, I got Charmander so I could get, Mega
Oh,
Charizard
nice.
X, the black one with the blue
Yep.
fire that's so cool. So it's like, even though I don't like the starter choices for ZA, it was kind of like
You can
you
still
have
go
access
get
to
the
other
ones that you
starters.
like.
Yeah. And so it was like, it's like cool. Like for Alligator, I kept in my party for a long time for
Yep.
for 2 reasons. One, because I thought, I'm reviewing the game, so yeah, I should probably keep the starter in because that goes kind of hand in hand here. Number
Hmm.
two is because I knew I was going to be writing an article on like what the best starter was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be.
Right.
And
So
so
you
like
need to
yeah, and so just like long term, like okay, I need to experiment with that, and I need to give Chikorita a try, and need to
right.
get Tepig, and evolve them up and see
Yep.
how they all can do and stuff like that. I still think my choice was the right one. I think for Alligator, just in general,
Yeah, I love him.
is better um, for carrying you through the story of that game.
Yeah,
But I also feel like they're way more balanced this time around than in some games, where it doesn't really matter which one you choose. There's like this time around, and part of
yeah,
that is just that so early in that game, you can just be like, well, I'm going to use these other starters instead.
right. You're not
Peace.
limited by your choice for nearly
You
as
just
long as some of the others.
you
Because
put
it
your
gets
start.
frustrating in some. Like that's I actually don't like grass starters because I've ended up getting my tail kicked almost every time I've ever picked a grass starter. Like
Me
I've
too. Yeah,
restarted some games because I was like, nope, do not enjoy these early fights by having a grass starter. And I was like, I'll just deal with this later. Try to get
yeah.
it later.
Yeah, I've not had good luck with grass starters in general. I will say this time around, I don't think it matters too much.
Yeah,
There are some early, especially early game, like there's some fire types in the wild that you can encounter that, could hurt you a little bit, but
yeah.
generally you'll be okay. I thought they did a pretty good job there.
Well, good.
Um, but there's also other grass types you can get pretty early on that's just kind of like, yeah, I don't need it.
Yeah. So
But that's the thing that I guess is good about this is that you could totally just throw your starter in a box
yeah,
and you don't have to live or die by the starter, which is the case in several
yeah.
Pokemon games.
Yep. Otherwise,
Um,
you're gonna have a Bidoof and a Pidgey, and it's like I'm not gonna enjoy this party that I have.
yeah, and so I I don't know, I haven't 100%ed it at all. Um, that's kind of I've got some time off coming up and around my birthday that I'm just gonna like reserve for fun things.
Okay.
And I was like, I'll probably see if I can 100% it because
Mm-hmm.
I like
Yeah.
Pokemon games and I like trying to do it all. And because my kids have the Switch 1 version, we can like trade and everything very
Okay.
easily. And so that's been a cool thing about having kids now. And then is I'll buy like each version of the game so that we can
Yeah.
trade
So
and
they're
everything.
playing one version. So and there's only one
With
version of
of
ZA
ZA. Yeah, it's like
that you
Arceus.
don't
There's
get
only one
Pokemon
version.
Z or Pokemon A.
Right.
It's Legends ZA rather than Z or A.
Correct.
Not Sword and Shield like that.
Right. Yeah. So like this one we only needed one anyway, but still
Mhm.
we're able to trade and everything. And I knew Pokemon games are popular in this house, so I was like,
Yep.
yeah, we're gonna need two copies of it.
You are.
Um and but it like Scarlet Violet, Sword and
Mm-hmm.
Shield, like it's been cool. Has even the what was it, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, like would buy both of them,
Mm-hmm.
knowing okay, I'm gonna play one, they're gonna play the other. We can trade like exclusives and
Yep.
things like that, and have had a good time doing that. I think the kids usually end up playing both versions anyway because
Okay.
that's just how they roll.
That's
But yeah, ZA's been a lot of fun. I know we're almost out of time, so people who've listened, um, let me know your thoughts on it because I honestly was surprised. Like, did not expect to like it. Loved
yeah.
it. So that was surprise number one. And then surprise number two really was I like initially a lot of other reviewers I saw after my review went live that other reviewers seemed to have like a similar consensus to mine,
Right.
with like being won over by like the battle system and kind of how it was a little different,
Yeah.
It's not like an evolutionary, no pun intended, like step forward,
Right.
but it's not like but it does feel refreshing in its own way and it feels different from other Pokemon games. And so
Which is one
I
of the reasons I
was,
stopped playing them is because I kind of got tired of the standard gameplay. I've meant to go back and play Arceus, but I never have Arceus, whichever. Uh,
I
but
think it's
haven't.
Arceus.
Is it Arceus?
I used to say Arceus, and then I heard in I think it's the special that's it's inconsistent in the movies. This is a whole thing we can
Ah.
dig into that we don't have time for. It's inconsistent in movies, the pronunciation of several Pokemon. And in the
Oh.
old in the old Pokemon movie, I think they say Arceus, and then in the new special that's on Netflix that came out around the time Legends Arceus came out,
Right.
they say Arceus. And then I think at one point I know the Pokemon social media was like tweeting out pronunciations of
Oh yeah.
things. And I think it was Arceus, yeah.
Uh,
I know I changed my pronunciation of it based on some official thing that came out around the time Legends Arceus came out.
right. Okay. And but yeah, so I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad that the battle system doesn't actually seem as bad as it looked to me. Like it didn't look bad. I shouldn't say that. I
No.
thought it was going to be like Dragon Quest Treasures is what I was kind of expecting, where I
Uh,
didn't necessarily enjoy the Treasures battle system. So I'm glad to know that it's more involved than running around with a slingshot. So
yeah, I mean it is. It's like Nino Kuni
yeah,
with a little bit of Xenoblade thrown in there. I
well,
mean, it's not as
cool.
good. I would say it's not as good as either one of those combat systems, but I mean, it's fine for what it
Yeah,
is.
I do love me some Xenoblade combat. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's high praise.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah,
But yeah, let us know what y'all think. Remember,
for
we're
sure.
on Twitter and Blue Sky at Dragon Quest FM. You can comment on YouTube or Spotify. And let us know what you think there. If you want to talk to me personally, I'm on Blue Sky or Twitter at Dragon Quaston.
And I'm on Blue Sky at bjkgames.com, Twitter at bjkgames. And you can also find us and support the podcast on Patreon at patreon.com/DragonQuestFM. And we would love you forever, which we will anyway, but we would love you forever still. So thank you guys for listening. And everybody send Austin some condolences about the Mariners.
It's true.
Uh,
It's very sad. Don't
all
end
right.
on a sad note. Come on now.
I got it.
Bye, everybody.
But we do. We do love you. We love you. All right. Bye, everybody.